Which keyword is used to start a conditional statement that executes code if a condition is true? If, while, for, case. If. The if keyword is the fundamental keyword for conditional execution, checking if an expression is true. Which keyword provides an alternative block of code to run if the if condition is false? Otherwise, else, next, default. Else. The else keyword is paired with if to execute a block of code when the if condition evaluates to false. Which of these is not a looping structure in C++? For, while, do while, if else. If else. If else is a conditional statement, selection, not a loop, iteration. For, while, and do while are all used to repeat blocks of code. In a for loop for A, B, C, which part is the loop condition that is checked before each iteration? Part A, initialization. Part B, condition. Part C, update/increment. None, the condition is checked after. Part B, condition. The for loop syntax is initialization, condition, update. The condition, B, is checked before the loop body executes. Which loop structure is guaranteed to execute its body at least one time? The for loop, the while loop, the if statement, the do while loop. The do while loop. A do while loop checks its condition after executing the body, ensuring the body always runs at least once. Which keyword immediately terminates the current loop or switch statement? Exit, stop, break, continue. Break. The break statement is used to exit a for, while, do while, or switch block prematurely. Which keyword skips the rest of the current loop iteration and moves to the next one? Skip, break, next, continue. Continue. The continue statement tells the loop to stop the current iteration and immediately move to the next iteration, checking the condition first in while and do while loops. What statement is used to select one of many code blocks to execute based on a single integer value? The if-else chain. The for loop. The switch statement. The while loop. The switch statement. The switch statement is ideal for comparing one variable, of integer type, like int or char, against multiple constant values, cases. In a switch statement, what keyword is used to define a specific value to check for? If, option, default, case. Case. The case keyword is followed by a constant value and a colon, marking the code to be executed if the switch variable matches that value. In a switch statement, what does the default keyword do? It ends the switch statement. It runs if no other case matches. It sets the default value for the variable. It is a mandatory first step. It runs if no other case matches. The default label is optional and specifies the code to run if the variable's value does not match any of the case labels. What happens if you forget a break statement in a switch case? The program will crash. It causes a compiler error. Execution falls through to the next case block. The switch statement exits automatically. Execution falls through to the next case block. This behavior is called fallthrough. Without a break, the code will continue executing the statements in all subsequent case blocks until a break is found or the switch ends. How do you correctly write a loop that counts from 0 up to and including 10? For loop, I equals 0, I less than 10. For loop, I equals 0, I less than or equal to 10. For loop, I equals 1, I less than 10. For loop, I equals 1, I less than or equal to 11. For loop, I equals 0, I less than or equal to 10. This loop starts at 0, and the condition I less than or equal to 10, less than or equal to 10, ensures that the loop body will execute when I is 10, stopping only when I becomes 11. What is the purpose of the else if statement? To run if the main if is true and another condition is true. To check a new condition only if the previous if condition was false. To create a loop that checks multiple conditions. To define the default case in a switch statement. To check a new condition only if the previous if condition was false. Else if allows you to chain multiple conditions. It is only checked if the preceding if, or else if, statements were false. When is a while loop generally preferred over a for loop? When you know the exact number of iterations. When iterating based on a condition, and the number of iterations is unknown. When you need to iterate through an array. When you need to guarantee the loop runs at least once. When iterating based on a condition, and the number of iterations is unknown. For loops are best for a known number of iterations. While loops are best when the loop must continue as long as a condition is true, regardless of the count. What is a major limitation of the C++ switch statement? It cannot be nested inside another loop. It cannot use the break statement. It only compares against integer types, not ranges or doubles. It must always have a default case. It only compares against integer types, not ranges or doubles. Switch statements are limited to integral types, like int, char, enum, and cannot check ranges, e.g., case greater than 10, or floating point numbers. How many times will the word hi be printed by this code? 4, int I equals 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, 4, int j equals 0, j less than 2, j plus plus, could hi. 5 times. 6 times. 3 times. 2 times. Six times. This is a nested loop. The outer loop runs 3 times, for I equals 0, 1, and 2. For each of those 3 iterations, the inner loop runs 2 times, for j equals 0 and 1. The total number of prints is 3 times 2, which equals 6. In a for loop for A, B, C, which part runs only once at the very beginning? Part A, initialization. Part B, condition. Part C, update/increment. All parts run every time. Part A, initialization. The first part of the for loop, the initialization, A, is executed only one time when the loop is first encountered. What punctuation is used to group multiple statements into a single block for an if or loop? Parentheses, using. Square brackets, using. Semicolon, using. Curly braces, using. Curly braces, using. Curly braces are used to define a block or scope, allowing you to put multiple statements where C++ normally expects only one, like after if or in a while loop. What type of expression is required inside the parentheses of a while loop? An integer expression. An expression that can be converted to bool. An assignment expression using the equals sign. A string expression. An expression that can be converted to bool. The condition in a while loop, and if, for, must be an expression that results in true or false. Non-zero numbers convert to true, and 0 converts to false. What will for, int I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, if, I equals 5, continue, could I, output? The numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. The numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an infinite loop. The numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. When I is 5, the continue statement is executed. This skips the could I line and moves directly to the increment part, I++, continuing the loop with I equals 6.